Ricky Martin has had it up to here with his nephew. He has filed a $20 million lawsuit against his nephew who accused him of some really career-damaging things. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. As you know, we covered a few videos talking about the Ricky Martin story where at the time of our initial report, we had no idea who was this man accusing Ricky Martin of harassing him. Come to find out less than a couple of weeks later, that it was his nephew. And since then, we've heard a few different damaging things about the nephew, saying that this is not the first time the nephew has accused someone in their family and has had similar accusations against him. Well, Ricky Martin says the harassment from his nephew, it was far from over after the nephew withdrew the claims. And a lot of you speculated, it sounds as if someone may, I speculated too. It sounds as if Ricky Martin may have paid the nephew off. Well, it seems that a lot of times when we say you can't pay someone off, especially in the eyes of the law, because they will continue to come after you, continue to harass you. But it seems as if the nephew continued to do that. And from what we are hearing, the nephew allegedly, according to Ricky Martin, has mental health issues. So this is what TMZ is reporting. They're saying this. Ricky Martin says he's been, quote, persecuted, besieged, and harassed, stalked, and extorted by a maladjusted person, aka his nephew. And he's now suing the guy who made wild accusations against him. Don't forget, when we covered this story, when we implemented that this was his nephew, we had to take into consideration Puerto Rico's incest laws. And Ricky at the time could have faced over 50 years in prison if convicted. So they continue to say that Ricky Martin filed a lawsuit today against Yadiel Sanchez Martin, who the singer claims is trying to, quote, assassinate his reputation. Dennis, his nephew, had claimed back in July, as you may recall, that he had a 7-month-long romantic relationship with Ricky. And when it ended, Ricky began stalking and harassing him, something Ricky said was blatantly false. The nephew had filed a restraining order, but when the heat was on him, he withdrew the whole thing. According to this new lawsuit that Ricky Martin filed today, which was obtained by TMZ, the nephew hasn't stopped. Ricky claims a month after Dennis withdrew his restraining order, he began sending messages to Ricky via Instagram, threatening to, quote, assassinate his reputation and integrity unless he anteed up cash. Ricky says in the lawsuit just backtracking a little bit. I wonder if there was some sort of settlement situation with Dennis before, and now he's coming back for more money. I don't know. Because my thing is, why did Dennis withdrew this information before if there was some sort of incentive given to him? Because I don't know. It could went either or. He could have just withdrew it because this is what he does, or he could have withdrew it if he was offered something, but now he wants more something. And when I say something, I mean money. But we'll continue. So Ricky says in the lawsuit before Dennis filed for a restraining order, he was publicly boasting about being Ricky Martin's nephew. Ricky says the nephew bombarded him with messages, sometimes more than 10 in a single day, for 4 months. Ricky says the messages were clearly written by a maladjusted individual. Ricky says the nephew then went rogue, posting the singer's cell phone number on his Instagram. Ricky says the nephew also made an IG account for one of his children, which made him uncomfortable. Ricky says he's lost numerous multi-million-dollar deals because of his nephew's false allegations, and now wants no less than $20 million to compensate the singer for his losses. I know what you are all thinking because as soon as I read it, I said, his nephew doesn't have $20 million. However, the threat and the movement forward with a lawsuit like this might scare his nephew to stop. However, if you are not mentally there, that's not going to make you stop, unfortunately. But I do believe that Ricky Martin has lost multiple $1 million deals because, look, when we heard the story, first of all, we didn't even know it was the nephew. We thought maybe it was Ricky Martin's boyfriend, not his husband that he has now. And I told you, look, I know people with a boyfriend and a husband. So we made a little kiki about it until we really realized that, oh no, this might be a really serious situation. And then when we found out the nephew may have had or has mental health issues, that, okay, this is a lot more serious and this is not just going to go away, unfortunately for Ricky Martin. And this type of cloud, the dark cloud over Ricky Martin, even if the accusation isn't true, is not good for him. People, especially in the entertainment industry, are like, hands off, without any factual information. And that was part of the reason why a lot of people believe that after he hired, famed Marty Singer, the attorney, celebrity attorney, he wanted to get this over with because he doesn't want this to go to trial. When we have these conversations about why do, these celebrities settle, it's not because they're guilty. It's because they do not want a drawn out trial where they have to prove they're innocent or to keep this in the news. Even though it's not true, it does affect their career. It does affect people's perception of them. Not fair, but unfortunately, that's the society that we live in. So I understood why he might want to, but like, you know what? Give him what he wants. He needs to withdraw, whatever. I know it's not true. However, now the nephew seems to continue this sort of behavior. And after we found out the nephew had mental health issues, I was like, this is not going to be over for Ricky Martin. And it's the same feeling that I had with Kanye West. Yes, things were quiet. You saw the other day, it blew up again. Then it was quiet again. And then he had another situation on social media. I keep telling you guys, mental health is real. Get you some therapy even before you need therapy. Because even situations like this, I believe, is causing Ricky Martin stress, causing Ricky Martin's family stress. Everyone in his family. So they continue and they say, Ricky says Dennis's actions have caused him and his family to feel, quote, unsafe in Puerto Rico. He wants the judge to order Dennis to refrain from all communications with Ricky and his family. So this is not about millions of dollars. Ricky knows that his nephew does not have $1 million, never mind $10 probably, to give to him. What he wants is the ramifications of a lawsuit like this. It sounds like Ricky needs his own restraining order from the nephew. Guys, I did not expect while being away, very similar to the last time that I was away, that this Ricky Martin story would resurface. But as soon as it did, I said I have to talk about it because I always feel an obligation to give you an update on the story that we've been following. And I know a lot of you have been asking me to cover the Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears story. I saw the video of that. That is sick. I can't believe that anyone thought in their right minds to put out a video like that years ago. Tiffany, I'm not sure why in your right mind or wrong mind would be involved. She has come out and said that she regrets it, but they can't speak about it because it's a pending lawsuit. I haven't had an opportunity to really dig into that story, but since we're talking about a lawsuit, I said, let me mention a little bit here. Those are my thoughts currently on that Tiffany and Ari Spears situation. I'll get into that maybe in another time and space once we get a little bit more details on the story. But I saw the video, sick to my stomach. Who in their right... If you have not seen the video, I'm sure it's on Twitter. I don't even think you should see the video, but for you to have a full perspective and understanding on what this lawsuit was. At first, when I saw the lawsuit, I said, I don't jump to the conclusion like, oh my God, they're guilty. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. But then I saw the video and I said, wait a minute. Guys, I want to know your reaction to this Ricky Martin $20 million lawsuit against his nephew. Oh, Ricky, we have not forgotten about the other lawsuit from your former manager. I need to get an update on that. And I want to hear your thoughts on the Ari Spears and the, I'm probably saying his name completely incorrectly. It's okay. Whatever. He can stay where he is because we were just talking about him slamming Lizzo and the Tiffany Haddish lawsuit. Let's continue that conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.